3, 2, 1, begin. Are speakers legal? I want to make a disco chip. No. Speakers are not legal.
Those caught with the jukebox will be severely punished.
I couldn't restrict the juice box for some weird reason. It was a bit like the wheels. They just refused. Like, nah, I'm gonna exist, go fuck yourself. Oh, okay. That's fine then.
Watch, you'll ban them one day and then all sounds stop working.
The physics drank out. That was a load-bearing jukebox. You fool. You absolute buffoon.
That'd be amazing.
We got a fairly aggressive start from both teams here.
Oh, Genuine Oyster has ceased to exist. He's gone now. Goodbye, Oyster.
That was excellent.
Bye-bye, Oyster.
Yep. Can confirm.
And, neither team has lost any significant battle points, despite an entire team member being gone.
Reduced to atoms.
I think that thing's like, what, 18 or 22 or something like that?
Yeah, it has a battery and a thruster on it. At most, it's like 20.
Yeah.
Sadly, no, jump drives are not allowed in StarCore.
Because jump drives are cringe.
Yeah, no. I was here when we tried it one time.
The once. It was hilarious watching the meme ships just jump themselves straight out of the damage field and die immediately.
A few arrows landing on TFS Gaming.
It led to basically people jumping to the center point and not spending money on thrust.
Yep, I saw a few people talking about that. Yeah, I don't have thrust. I have jump drives. Why would I need thrust?
That seems like a perfectly legitimate strategy.
Yeah, counter that, we would need multiple capture zones, like 3, so we'd need to hold 2 to actually get any points.
StarCore MOBA edition.
Yeah, you have 3 lanes? No, that'd be pretty cringe.
Yeah, no.
I'm all for trying new things, but we just got this working. Alright, back to the match. I'm actually starting to get some effective fire now. Both teams, UOD's heavies are sticking together. Purple is not with Bryce. They're both engaging the fast movers. Zero and Novello, 1 each.
1v1s forming here. Oh, it looks like Mr. Purple is coming to support, getting fire on Zero. Coming around behind him with a lot of cease, I assume. Yeah, wow, that is a lot of cease.
Same strategy again from UOD, but hey, if it works, don't break it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the use of cease on interceptors. That's pretty much what they're for.
Yep.
Maybe not 22 of them, but, you know.
Well, the combination of the kinetic and energy from the 2 ships is working well. We kick down Zero's shields. Bryce, however, is already at 0 shields and taking some damage.
It's going to be a majority of laser fire that's going to be hitting him.
Zero does run a truly scary interceptor. And again, a very good pilot.
Yeah, we have some of the best pilots on the field here fighting each other.
Bryce and Mr. Purple are both
the best pilot between Zero and Bryce.
He's being double teamed, like Wise been saying here.
And they're both fast enough to keep up with him. Novello is staying near to try and get some damage on Bryce, but he just doesn't have the acceleration to stay within effective weapons fire or weapons range of his primary target. Big Rig also sliding in to give Zero some support. Fast movers have effectively split up the team now. Back here in the center, we've got Cygnus and Dimitri facing off against 303 and Reaper. Cygnus and Dimitri.
There's a good ram from Zero into Bryce. I don't know if that was intentional, but it certainly messed him up. Zero is now making high-speed passes at Bryce.
It looks like
Oh,
he's one.
and Zero has rammed straight back into the shield. He has shaved off his rear end.
That's gonna leave a mark.
That's that is the end of Zero's maneuverability, unfortunately.
It's a good shooting goes.
Looking pretty dead in the water now.
Look about and find what for if you're gonna fling yourself around like that. Best watch where you're going.
Yep.
Oh, Zero's a little less scary now.
Significant downgrade in his effectiveness. That might decide this match.
Very well could.
That is a heavy loss for them.
It hasn't been without merit, though. Bryce has taken significant damage. Novello peeling him apart with the Electos.
Bryce and Mr. Purple staying on Zero when really they could leave him for dead here.
Seems they don't want to risk it.
And they have redded out the grid.
And Zero is off the field.
Might be a good time to start looking at someone else.
Huge arrow strike would have taken 3 by surprise in the rear, but the blocker shield took all of it.
Now the wolf pack moves on.
That wolf pack is incredibly deadly.
Brycecraft and Mr. Purple focusing on Big Rig. Now 303 coming to give some long range fire. Sitting back and pelting Big Rig. Looks like there's maybe some Cerberus or Sylvius. It's like, yep, a couple of Sylvius.
Now those are some dangerous weapons.
Very,
Get those.
very bad for the health of the fast movers.
Big Rig is actually taking X3 battery fire, which have the best in-class block damage of any gun. Per shot, anyway.
Did we buff the speed on those?
Yes.
Ah.
You've normalized somewhere around where the Tempest flies. 1,100 meters per second.
Not bad.
Fortunately, Big Rig looks like he's beat up so much that he can't keep on target. I think he's lost a lot of gyros, or possibly he's lost his invincible subgrid.
Both of
Yeah,
these
it's
are a
hard to
possibility.
keep it,
I do love the color of his thrusters, though.
Very nice color.
Pretty.
Yes.
Hot pink works for you, does it, Muzzle?
Hot pink looks fantastic in the correct situation, and Cybern has the correct situation.
Yep.
Speaking of hot pink, well, purple in this case. Got the Electos firing at Bryce. I haven't seen Bryce's shields come back up. They might be down for good. And he takes a coal cannon, spinning him around, or that might have just been off-axis afterburner thrust. The center of mass is now definitely shifted with how much mass he's lost. Big Rig now attempting to retreat to the rest of his main line. With the loss of Zero, he doesn't have anything to gain out here, aside from being fodder.
Genuinely surprised with how much fire Big Rig has been taking, and still staying very much active. I don't see any major holes into his systems.
He is using primarily heavy armor only.
It's doing the job.
Oh, looks like Bryce shields are indeed back up as Big Rig lands a few coil cannon blasts directly into him.
And then moving to the tank battle, we got Cybran hanging out at one shield bubble. And you are hanging out in separate locations.
Big Rig continued to take very effective fire. This rate just being sandblasted down by the ACs. Electo firing.
Cybern's
Ooh.
tanks.
What are the tanks up to?
Oh, still just fortifying and staring at each other.
Well, we'll leave them to that. This Bryce is being shot at with arrows. A single one of those would be enough to call game on him. Big Rig still very far away from his teammates. Taking the condensed focus fire, Mr. Purple and Bryce. Now, as much as Bryce bought all that time for his team last match, maybe this match, Big Rig is doing the same. Whoa! That was almost an unintentional ram from Bryce, and that would have been curtains for him. I doubt he would have won that ram.
Yep, he's playing a very dangerous game. Is Novello AFK? I do not know.
That's a great question. I suppose we should go get a great answer. What is up with Novello? Doesn't look very AFK to me. It's 303 takes some arrows. Wonder if he's running energy heavy armor. I've seen a few arrows impact him and doesn't seem to care very much.
I very well could be.
Oh. Big arrow strike from Cygnus going into the shield.
Those shields, man.
Dimitri out of shields. That's 303. Blast Dimitri with the Casper rounds.
I would have thought that would have been an odd choice against somebody that was stationary. Wouldn't be using those armor-piercing rounds or high explosive rounds.
Big
Just
Rig
whatever
coming
they're
in from
oh no!
the side, slamming into 303 as he hits him with the Electos.
There you go. This is what Big Rig wants to be doing.
Yep. Mostly bouncing off of him. The coil cannons are eating in as well. Another Electo shot, I believe, charging from behind. Oh, that's Novello. Slicing into the heavy armor on the rear of 303.
Big
That's
chunk of
gotta be
Dimitri
energy.
flying off. Big Rig helping 303 out as he rams into Dimitri.
Free hugs for all. Free hugs.
This went from a turret match into bumper cars as those Electos just tearing straight through into 303. No, that
Rig's
armor's holding up.
just slamming into the side of the locker plate there, losing one of his main thrusters.
Ooh.
Looks like they're gonna miss just by a hair.
Yep.
Dimitri not interested in letting go of 303. And he slides off. That's gonna let his shields come back up. I doubt Dimitri wants that. He just has an arrow left. The rest of his weapons have been removed. Oh, he manages a good ram into an X3 battery.
Here comes Novello with another big laser.
Shields are up. This might work out for the best for Cybrant, having Novello not participate in that Wolfpack fight earlier. I think Novello wanted to take that ram with integrity.
I think he did.
Ooh.
Here comes the Electo.
Definitely doing some damage, but that must be a lot of energy heavy armor because it is not digging in as deep as I normally expect those lasers to dig.
Well, there's no penalty to having energy or kinetic.
That looks like heavy armor to me. I just took a sample.
Just regular heavy.
Yep. There's just a lot of it. If you look
There is
closely,
a lot of it.
there's a lot of holes.
That is 22 million mass. So yeah, that is a lot.
Yeah, it is a very high mass ship for sure.
Got 4 minutes left on the card.
Some arrows coming in and getting good hits on 303.
Where did they land? Ah, I see where they landed.
Yep, definitely starting to open him up a little bit.
Some M1s for you. Novello is just trying to knock him out with a ram. He's doing his best, but it looks like the Wolfpack is refocused directly onto Novello. It's gonna be a bad time if he gets hit with all those cease while he's in integrity mode.
Well, those shields down, taking some big hits from those Kasaba rounds.
Looks like Cybern are mixing it up with 303 in the rear. Some arrows diving in right into 303. Looks like they penetrated. Oh, yes, they did. That's 303's main thrust gone.
Still fighting his Electos. 3 operational coil cannons, even though he's lost half of the front of his ship.
That's all you need. That's a half that's holding you together.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And the majority of UOD is out of the zone, and we have 3 minutes left on the clock. Is this a strategy? It looks like the corpse of Zero has drifted back and is applying laser fire. Bryce wants none of it and is attempting to burn them down.
Both teams still have sufficiently intact people in the zone. I say that, but Cybrand's zone occupier drifted out.
It's now Cygnus and Reaper continuing with their turret match. As Dimitri, out of guns except for an arrow, continues to harass. Mr. Purple now focused on Big Rig. One of his main drive thrusters is gone. The Electos burning into purple shields. Those aren't anti-shield lasers. Oh, Mr. Purple has actually collided with the center station.
M1's coming off of Reaper and landing in Dimitri. He's just about gone here. He's still hanging in there, but he's been eroded. Brycecraft is definitely smoking pretty hard.
It's bad for the health.
Big chunk of the front of his ship is mostly gone, but he's still got some Gladius going and a couple of 75 mils.
Derecho's putting in good work. They're not individually very impressive, but over time they can erode the surface and hit modules very accurately. Looks like Reaper out of shields spinning around in the center. If ever there was a time to strike, Dimitri, now is the time. It's trying to close in. Sticking on him. Doesn't want to let him go. We're 30 seconds to overtime.
You are definitely winning the BP race here. Mr. Purple and Reaper Dragon still have over 90% integrity.
It appears that when Novello went into integrity mode, he was shot with a laser or something. With a 16 times damage buff against an integrity modified ship, it blew out most of his power.
Yeah,
Ouch.
it really is dangerous dropping into integrity mode these days.
It's a high reward, if you can make it work. Cygnus now dropping shields here pretty quick. And we are in overtime.
Cygnus being the last Cybran. Oh, Bigger just came back.
Big Rig still burning around. This match is currently very much in UOD's favor. Has a 10,000 battle point advantage, but we've seen higher go for less.
Almost no functional weapons, unfortunately, left on Cybran. I think that's, in the end, going to be the real decider here.
Grand total of 8 weapons on Cybran versus many, many more on UOD.
Yep.
He's firing his arrows. They're getting cut down piecemeal. Attempts to hit Reaper Dragon, who is fortified up just fine. Not at all threatened by Dimitri or Novello, both of them trying to go for a ram. Something, anything. They might end up ramming each other at this rate, very close.
Ooh.
Large amount of M1s landing directly into Dimitri. Cygnus is gonna sail out of the zone. Novello's the last one in. Game! We're done here.
There we go.
Here we go.
All right. That's a pretty decisive UOD victory. Not even that far over time.
All right.
GG, guys. Well done.
Very well done, both teams.
Dead end. UOD.
Fantastic match.
Yeah, it's 2 very decisive moments when Zero ran his ass into a shield and had half of him removed. And when Novello went into integrity mode, just at the wrong time.